Right, I just wanted to tell you guys a quick military story, and then I got to get to work. Um, when I was in the military, I helped do intel for the B-1 bombers. The B-1 bombers have 4 officers that generally operate the bomber. There's the pilot, the co-pilot, there's the radar. There's a guy that does all the radar jamming and just watches the radar entities in the same airspace. And then there's the weapons officer. We had one officer, Captain Mangenot. Captain Mangenot, nice guy. You could tell he was like the mama's boy that joined the Air Force. He was definitely not, Army Ranger material. He was not like the tough guy. He had a very nasal voice for a man, and he was just a little bit awkward at times and stuff. And he's a total nerd, but you could tell the Air Force got him for his brains, because some of the stuff that he could comprehend about weapons, I'll never know. He could calculate things that I had to use a computer for. So I worked with him off and on at times, and he was new to the Air Force just like I was. And in the first few months, they just call you by your name, Airman Wheeler, Captain Mangenot, whatever. After a while in that kind of culture, they generally pick something about you that becomes what's called your call sign. And mine became Wheels because my last name was Wheeler. And they were joking about me always rolling or something. I don't know. But Wheels was my call sign. I got that after only the first 2 weeks. And Captain Mangenot really wanted to fit in with everybody. And he's like, well, what's my call sign going to be? Can it be this? Can it be that? And everybody's like, you don't get to pick your own call sign. We find something about you that we'll do. And so it's like, all right, the poor guy, you could tell he was just like dying to fit in. If you know anything about aircrew, whether it's a B-1 bomber, any jet, any place, any base, anywhere, aircrew, they're like children. When you walk into an office where aircrew is stationed, it looks like a daycare. They have toys, comics, stuff. They don't clean up. They're just like work hard, play hard kind of people. So when they're not in the air and they're not all business, they're all fun and games. And so they loved to prank Captain Mangenot. They loved to startle him, scare him and stuff. And the thing that this guy always did, I cannot blame them for wanting to do that, because his reaction would always be priceless. It was the weirdest sound that would come out of this man's mouth. It was like, ah! Oh my God! Stop it! No! Ah! Ah! It's like, where? What the? It was funny. And so they did this. We were all gathered for a briefing, and there were 3 colonels there. They were waiting for the wing commander to show up. And during that time, everybody's jibber-jabbering, whatever. There's a colonel sitting right in front of us, and one of the pilots did something to Mangenot. I don't even remember what it was. In the middle of the auditorium, Mangenot lets out this yelp. It was like, what? That's how I remember it. The colonels, all 3, turn around, and they were like, y'all right back there? And the worst part was, Colonel Gentry, he was our squadron commander. He was the guy that oversaw all this aircrew. And he turned around and he was like, Mangenot, stop screaming like a girl. And everybody started laughing. Poor Mangenot was he was so mad. You could tell he was seething. But you don't react angry in front of your colonel, because it's your boss. We go through the briefing, we get back to the shop, and all the pilots, they're like, Mangenot, front and center. Mangenot's like, okay. And they're like, brother, we got your call sign. Mangenot's eyes, you could tell. He was like, really? And he was just like, oh my God, okay guys, well, yeah, I'm ready. They're like, you ready? They're like, yeah. And they're like, slag. Slag. S-L-A-G. Maginot's like, okay, that's pretty cool. What I don't understand what that means. And they said, slag, S-L-A-G, wrote it on the board. Screams like a girl. He didn't like it, but once you get a call sign that sticks, it's your call sign. So for the next 5 years, I worked with slag. Poor guy. He tried so hard to fit in, though. Bless his heart. He was a good guy. And as far as I know, he's still in. So if you ever go around a B-1 bomber and you hear somebody call out slag, that's Maginot. Tell him Shannon said hi. All right, guys. I'm going to start my day. Love you guys. Love each other. Stay salty, okay?